An explorer returns to the same forest where he was hunted, but this time he brings his dog for protection, and that becomes his first mistake. On his first trip, Tim was ambushed by a man armed with a bow and arrow he calls a shaman. Now he's returned to find answers, bringing his dog Ketchum, who he calls his true friend. The first sign of trouble comes not from the forest, but from the one companion he trusted to keep him safe.
Кучум. Кучум. Друзья, я не знаю, что делать.
Tim spends the rest of the night anxiously waiting, calling Kutchum's name, but his hope gives way to a new, more immediate fear. He spots a lone fire burning deep in the woods, and then he hears it again, the same rhythmic beating from his first encounter. The next morning he approaches the shaman's fire pit, and what he finds there is sickening. It's a handmade wooden cage, too small for a person, but the perfect size for a dog. Nearby, red rags are tied to the trees, marking a path. The same markers that led to the lost hunter's tent. The trail leads him to a dead, withered tree with a terrifying symbol carved into its trunk, the shaman's ritual site. Tim decides this is the perfect place to try and contact the spirits of the lost. He sets up his equipment, asks them to speak, and the forest answers.
Вы можете со мной выйти на контакт? Барабаны.
And that's where the footage ends. For weeks it was believed Tim had become another victim of the forest, but then a follow-up video appeared. Tim survived the fall, and in a miraculous moment, Ketchum returns. Their reunion is short-lived, however, as they realize they are now being actively hunted.
Кучом! Куча! Куча!
Culminating in a final, terrifying encounter where Tim spots a figure in the trees and screams for his dog to get down.
Лежать, я сказал. Кучум. Лежать. Кучум. Лежать. Друзья. Где-то там. Ляг. Лежать. 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 Лежать.
They eventually made it out of the forest, exhausted and terrified, but alive. At the end of his video, Tim says he will send the footage to the police, but he's doubtful they'll take any action. And that is the most disturbing part of this story. The footage is living proof of a violent assault, a potential kidnapping, and a history of disappearances. The cage, the arrows, the traps, they're not paranormal, they're the tools of a predator. For the authorities to allegedly not take action is a failure that leaves a dangerous man free to hunt in those woods. It leaves us with a chilling question. How many more people have to disappear before someone is held accountable? What do you think? I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. It's totally free, and you can always change your mind later. Also, if you've had an encounter of your own and want to share it, feel free to send it to the email listed in the description.
The craziest thing I ever seen, just in a lake in the Pine Barrens. Way more than I expected. Holy cow. This is insane, bro. Holy.
It all started with a simple product review. A YouTuber was testing a new underwater scooter, but the water in the bay was too murky. He remembered a clear remote lake from his childhood, a place he hadn't visited in over a decade. He just wanted to get a better shot, but he found something else entirely. He started walking the edge of the lake when a glint of light bouncing off something reflective caught his eye. He moved closer to investigate, and that's when he found it.
How did a car get in here? Holy. You are absolutely kidding me that I just found this. There's no way that somebody just... What? Bro, you're kidding. How did a car get in here? No way.
In a state of shock, his mind raced with the worst-case scenarios. Was someone still inside? Before making an official report, he knew he had to be sure.
Hey, this is not an emergency. I was told to call from EHT dispatcher so that they could get the location of where I am, basically. Yesterday, and I was literally just walking in the woods, and I was filming in the lake, and I saw a car in the lake, literally. So I just put my GoPro on like a stick, and I filmed like a video of it underwater, and then I went home, like not thinking anything of it. I thought maybe some kid just like drove a car in there. And then I went and showed my wife, and she was like, yo, this is really weird. You should just call, like, the police, because this is not right. So then...
So is it a car in the lake?
There's 100% a car in the lake, yes.
Just stay right there. You have the footage with you?
Yeah, I got footage, and also I can just, like, point out where the car is. It's hard to see because of the lighting right now, but it's right there. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll have an officer there shortly.
Okay. I had to report it, though. There's nothing else I can do. I'm just trying to do the right thing. Hey, how are you, dude?
Good. Fine.
James, but
James.
everyone calls me Tucker.
Okay.
But I can just show you,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. So basically, I was just out here last night. I was just walking through here.
Okay.
Because I have like this little, it's called an underwater scooter.
Okay.
And I took it in the bay yesterday, and it was super murky.
Okay.
And I remembered from like when I was a teenager that this was really clear back here, and I hadn't looked at it in so long. Either way, I walked around the lake and I saw a car in there, and I was like, this is crazy, dude. So I filmed it with the GoPro.
Okay.
Went back to my house, didn't really think about it. I was like, yeah, some kid obviously drove it in.
Yeah.
I showed my wife the video, and she was like, yo, this is really eerie. Like, you should definitely call the police, basically.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the first time either.
Really? Yeah, I just thought it was weird because the car looks pretty new.
Yeah.
And there's a license plate on it. So like,
Were
if
you able to get the license plate off of it?
I was able to get a video of it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I have on my phone. I'll show you.
Oh yeah. How did they get the car over there?
Well, so yeah, I don't know unless they were in it, because the sunroof's open, I think.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like maybe these guys were doing a stunt or something, because like maybe they drove it. But also I've seen in videos like cars kind of float along, and you wouldn't think
float along before they actually.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that, but that did cross my mind whether like it had been reported stolen or something. Just because like I know how much people spend on their cars, and it's not like you're just gonna even, I don't know, it's rough out here. I don't see how someone would just leave a car in a lake and not be like super pissed about it or like upset. Pretty gnarly though, because like I've been out in the woods doing stuff.
The officer confirms their suspicions. The car was reported stolen. What started as a simple discovery was now an active crime scene. But what happened next, no one was prepared for. What should have been a simple recovery mission escalated into a massive multi-county operation. After hours of work, the car was finally on dry land. And what made the scene even more powerful was learning that many of the first responders, including the dive team, were dedicated volunteers, turning a potential crime scene into a story of community action. In the end, it was just a stolen car, but the story is a chilling reminder of what can be hiding just beneath the surface, and a testament to the courage of doing the right thing, even when you're unsure. Let me know what you would have done in the comments. It was supposed to be a simple 5-day camping trip. A man and his wife decided to take their grandkids to a remote spot in the Alberta Rockies called Ruby Falls, a place for them to play in the water and enjoy the last days of summer. The first few days were perfect. They drove the trails, explored the waterfalls, and sat by the fire. It was a peaceful escape deep in the wilderness, but they weren't entirely alone. For a while now, the grandfather had been setting up a trail camera at night, hoping to capture footage of wildlife for his granddaughter. He'd never had any luck before, but that night was different. At first glance, it looks like a cryptid, but many viewers with military and law enforcement backgrounds pointed out something far more chilling. They believe this isn't a creature, but a person in a specialized IR-resistant suit, with the glowing eyes being the reflection from night vision goggles, a human prowler trying to stay hidden. The family packed up and left, but the footage remains, and it leaves us with a deeply unsettling question. What's more terrifying, an unknown creature in the woods, or a human predator watching you and your family while you sleep, hidden just beyond the glow of the campfire?